This morning, hurricane-force winds blow fire across Southern California, incinerating houses, and we show you what it's like live on the fire lines. Candidate Clinton, Senator Hillary Clinton, making the calls, holding the meeting. Is her presidential race about to begin? And did you think about calling in sick today? 1/3 of us admit we fake it. Could your boss fire you if he found out? We'll show you how to be sick day savvy. And good morning, America. I'm Diane Sawyer, not sick, not home.
Who wants to waste their sick days when they're sick? What a waste. You don't do that. No one does that.
Spoken like a woman of the people here.
I'm Robin Roberts. It is Monday, December 4th, 2006. We hope you had a fantastic weekend. And what a week this is going to be for the Supreme Court. They're tackling a very tough situation here. The High Court talking about race and school assignments. This morning, 2 cases that could affect hundreds of school districts all across the country. And this is the question: should the color of a child's skin matter in deciding which school he or she attends? It's a real lightning rod issue right now.
And, of course, the Michael Richards incident got a lot of us talking around the country and right here at Good Morning America. In fact, right here at this news desk about race. Robin and I thought maybe this was the time to tackle some of the toughest questions we could think of. Put them on the table. For instance, what's the one thing that I have done that Robin has said, please don't ever do that again?
Just one thing, and that's pretty good if it's just one thing, but we'll let you know about that a little bit later. And the big squeeze, we're having a glass of orange juice with you this morning. Did you know?
Precious orange juice.
I know, this is very, very precious. The orange has fallen on tough times. Take a look at this video. Well, that's orange juice, okay, but that's not quite the video I was hoping for. Limes, those are not, you think those are limes? No, those are oranges. Those are oranges, not limes. Mother Nature is to blame. We'll tell you about the big changes on your breakfast table.
And also, we want everybody to join the newest exercise trend. It's called laughing yoga. The experts swear you put a little laughter into your exercise and it's going to change your life, save your life. We're going to try it.
Sounds good to me. But first, let's get straight to those wildfires tearing across Southern California. Nearly 10,000 acres have burned already, and right now firefighters are battling the blaze. ABC's Miguel Marquez is on the fire line in Moorpark, California. Miguel?
Robin, that fire has just raced to those 10,000 acres. 5 homes are destroyed. Thousands more are in danger of being destroyed. And this wind, it just keeps coming.
Intense wind fueled the fire that put thousands of people and their homes in danger.
I still couldn't get in my house to get anything else out. It was just run for your life. We've lost all our personal belongings, all our paperwork.
Firefighters struggled with thick smoke fed by tinder-dry brush and eucalyptus trees in the hilly suburb of Moorpark, northeast of Los Angeles.
Conditions extreme. The wind, as you can see, it's blowing. It's giving firefighters a fit right now. So they're really digging in.
This is what firefighters are really fighting right now, the wind. It's blowing that smoke and the fire almost horizontally across the landscape.
It started out as one fire overnight, but then a second fire started early Sunday morning. Residents scrambled to either escape or break out their garden hoses and try to put out hot spots threatening their homes.
It's just really long, tiring.
Hundreds of fire crews raced in to try and stop the flames cold. Choppers finally got a break in wind conditions and were cleared to fly. Golf course lakes became water stations as thousands of gallons of water were dropped in and around brand new suburban neighborhoods.
Forecasters say they expect these wind conditions, hot, dry, and erratic Santa Ana winds, to continue for at least the next 24 hours till 6 p.m. tomorrow night. And that'll be no help at all to firefighters. Robin?
Miguel, thank you. And we just heard the Santa Ana winds blowing at hurricane force out there. Sam, that is not helping at all.
Robin, and we use that hurricane force as a comparison of the actual speed of the winds. Certainly anything above 74 miles per hour categorized as a hurricane force wind. And we know this is a Santa Ana pattern. Let's show you what these winds were like during the day yesterday. Some of these areas, anywhere from San Bernardino all the way to L.A., 106 mile per hour wind gusts. That reported in San Bernardino at an elementary school. Laguna Peak at 86 miles per hour, Wiley Ridge at 75, the Malibu Hills at about 57 miles per hour. This pattern is, and these winds always depend on the strength strength of the system that's moving those winds through the mountains and down the mountains. So here's this big area of high pressure. This is a strong one. When it goes through the mountains and over the mountains and drawn down those hills into San Bernardino, into Burbank, those winds speed up, warm up, and dry out. So basically, you're just kind of blow-torching all that from those pictures that you saw with the trees laying sideways and the fire going that way. Here's the good news about this particular pattern is that the winds will relax as we get through the day. The steady winds are 20 to 40 miles per hour today. The gusts should not be much higher than about 40 or 50 miles per hour. Sounds high, but it's much better than 70 to 106 miles per hour. Robin?
I'm sure they'll take it. All right, Sam, thank you. Now, Chris Cuomo with more of the morning's major headlines. Good morning, Chris.
Morning.
Good morning, Robin, Diana. Good morning, everyone. We begin with breaking news out of Iraq. A Marine helicopter carrying 16 servicemen was forced to make a crash landing on a lake in the Al Anbar province. One Marine was killed. 3 troops are missing. The other 12 on board were rescued. Meanwhile, this week could mark a crucial turning point for American troops in Iraq. As the Iraq Study Group releases its recommendations, President Bush is set to announce some big changes. ABC's Jonathan Karl is at the Pentagon. Good morning, Jonathan. What's the latest?
Morning, Chris. Well, the latest is that the White House says the president is planning to make significant changes in his Iraq strategy. Today, President Bush will meet with a prominent Iraqi political leader who has close ties to Iran as the search continues for a way to change course in Iraq. None other than Donald Rumsfeld has called for a major adjustment in Iraq strategy, saying the current one is not working well enough or fast enough. Rumsfeld wrote that in a classified memo sent to the White House the day before the Republicans took a beating in the midterm elections and just 2 days before he was fired. As harsh as Rumsfeld's assessment is, National Security Advisor Stephen Hadley says that is exactly how the president sees it.
Things are not proceeding well enough or fast enough in Iraq. We have to make some changes. We need a new way forward in Iraq.
Rumsfeld offered a laundry list of ideas, most of them for scaling back the U.S. mission in Iraq. Go minimalist, Rumsfeld wrote, suggesting modest withdrawals of U.S. forces so Iraqis know they have to step up and take responsibility for their country. What is striking about Rumsfeld's memo is how similar his ideas are to the proposals the Iraq Study Group is expected to release on Wednesday. Both that group and Rumsfeld also agree that sending more U.S. troops is not a good option.
The one person who we have not heard from on all this is incoming Defense Secretary Robert Gates. But he'll be asked to weigh in tomorrow, Chris, when he faces the Senate Armed Services Committee for his confirmation hearing.
Thank you, Jonathan. In the Midwest, hundreds of thousands of people are still waiting for the power to come back on after getting punished by bad weather last week. The storm has now been blamed for 19 deaths, and many people are still at risk, with frigid temperatures expected in many areas again today. In medical news, a devastating blow to the nation's biggest drug maker and to millions of heart patients who hoped for a new drug. Clinical trials on Pfizer's promising new heart medication were abruptly canceled because of serious problems. Joining us from Boston is ABC medical editor, Dr. Tim Johnson. Good morning, doctor. What did they find in this study?
What happened is that the Safety Monitoring Board found that people taking this new drug to raise good cholesterol, or HDL, had more deaths than the people who were not taking the drug. There were 15,000 people. The half who were taking the drug had 82 deaths. The half who were not taking the drug had 51 deaths. So they found this out. They announced it over the weekend. They stopped the trial because of this potential danger, and it was a big shock. I talked to some of the original researchers several years ago. They were very excited about this drug and its potential to cut down on heart attack deaths. Obviously, that didn't turn out to be the case.
Doctor, does it mean anything about other drugs that raise good cholesterol?
No, not necessarily. There are some other drugs in the pipeline to do the same thing. Maybe they act differently. Maybe they won't be dangerous. We won't know till we study them whether this is a class effect or there was something unique about this particular drug.
And Tim, on that point, any broader implications about the effects of statins in general? So many people are taking them now, millions.
Well, statins are a very different kind of drug. They are designed to lower the bad cholesterol, the LDL. We've used them for 20 years. They appear to be very safe in most people, very effective. So there should be no connection between the drugs that raise HDL and the ones we now use to lower LDL.
Tim, thank you. Dr. Tim Johnson, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
And finally, New Orleans is getting back into the holiday spirit this year, 15 months after Hurricane Katrina. Merchants at the famous French market lit up the 20th anniversary holiday tree. There it is, beautiful over the weekend, and marching bands and magicians put on a festive show for shoppers. And as we all know, they need it down there. That's the news at 7:09. Beautiful.
It is. All right, Chris, thanks very much. And baby, it's cold outside.
And getting colder in a lot of places. It's the East Coast today that gets into some colder air. We've got one storm system that's going to affect just a bare coastline of the Northeast. Let's deal with that. We've talked about the West this morning. Let's head east. Here it is. You're looking at the latest radar. It's an area of low pressure that's off the coast of southern New Jersey. Now, this is going to spread some rain. Long Island, you're also getting a little freezing mix through Connecticut, Rhode Island, on into Massachusetts. Boston, you're going to pick up some slippery spots on western roads as well from this. It's a gusty wind. Now, let me show you the other byproduct of this, and that is also the lake effect snow that gets pulled around from systems that are pushing east and the strong pull in this low. Remember, it's counterclockwise around the low, so it grabs that cold air out of Canada, pulls it across the lakes, and you get some colder temperatures and also some lake effect snow in Buffalo. Grand Rapids, you can count on that as well. A little snow in Portland. Providence, you'll get some slippery spots on the roads all the way out to Long Island. We've had some reports of a freezing mix on Long Island road surfaces, so be careful as you're headed out that way. Through most of the country, it's dry today. Most of the country is dry. There's just a brand new little system that's kind of up in the northwest as well, and cooler temperatures are being forced into everywhere except deep South Florida. That's the weather around the nation. Here's what you can expect this morning.
Good morning, everyone. A weak disturbance that's now moving through the Portland-Vancouver area will probably produce a few showers today, and that's going to be about it. You can actually see that behind this front, we've got some clearing for later in the day. So here is a look at your forecast. By noon, we should be at 40 degrees with just a couple of scattered showers. 43 degrees will be the high temperature today in the Portland-Vancouver area. Here's a look at the 5-day forecast, 10-day trend. The east winds die down this afternoon, but reappear Tuesday night into Wednesday when we have drier weather.
And we'll talk about the cold temperatures from Minneapolis to Chicago in the next half hour. Diane?
Okay, Sam, we're going to turn now to the big news at the Supreme Court this morning. And this is the question. Are the schools in this country resegregating, and will it be tolerated? 400 school districts are in the spotlight, so are we talking busing again? ABC's new legal correspondent, a lawyer herself, Jan Crawford Greenberg, joins us from the U.S. Supreme Court. Jan, good morning.
Good morning. Plenty of people have been camping out here overnight to get a prize seat in the courtroom for these arguments. The justices will hear two cases, one from Louisville and another from Seattle, where officials are trying to maintain school integration. Kathleen Broses' 14-year-old daughter was turned away from her neighborhood school in Seattle after the district effectively issued a stark decree. No more white students allowed. Brose has one word for that: discrimination.
There's enough angst in their lives as teenagers, and to be told that they have the wrong skin color after they have been told in school that discrimination is wrong, well, kind of sends a mixed message to those students.
In school districts across the country, integration programs can mean long bus rides when neighborhood schools have reached their self-imposed racial limits. Rose and other opponents want the Supreme Court to say enough. Schools should not consider race when enrolling students. They embrace an argument made a half-century ago in the landmark case Brown versus Board of Education, which outlawed separate school systems for whites and blacks.
Brown versus Board of Education was about the right of individuals not to be discriminated against because of their skin color. And that is exactly what's at stake in this case.
Civil rights groups resent opponents using the historic case to now challenge voluntary efforts to integrate schools. They say a ruling against the districts would undermine the promise of integration.
They now claim they are the inheritors of Martin Luther King's dream of a country in which his poor little children wouldn't be judged by the color of their skin,
but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
He would be very much appalled by the way his words are being used.
This is the first major race case for the new Roberts Court, and demonstrators arrived by the busloads earlier this morning to make their voices heard while the justices listened to arguments inside. Diane?
All right, Jan, you mentioned Roberts. This raises the question, new justices on the court. Does it give any clue about which way they might judge?
Well, the court ruled 3 years ago that affirmative action could be used in college admissions, but this is a new court. That case was closely divided 5-4 with Justice Sandra Day O'Connor casting the deciding vote. She has been replaced by Samuel Alito. He's more conservative, and his vote could take the court in a very different direction in this case.
All right, our thanks to you, Jen. And as we said, it could be a really seminal case in this country. Robin.
All right, Diane. Going to move on now to the 2008 presidential race. It's heating up, and all eyes are on Hillary Clinton. She's meeting with some of her party's top leaders behind closed doors. And on Sunday, she had a 2-hour brunch that became the talk of the town. Trust me, raising the question, is Hillary about to announce that she's in the race? GMA weekend anchor Kate Snow is here, so?
Well, it's the latest sign that maybe, just maybe, we might have a woman trying to run for president of this country. By the end of the week, I'm told, Hillary Clinton plans to call on all of the top Democratic names here in New York, not to tell them that she's running, but to get their advice and support if she goes for it. Senator Clinton has kept things pretty low-key since Thanksgiving. No big public events, but she's been plenty busy behind closed doors. On Sunday, a 2-hour brunch at the Manhattan apartment of New York's newly elected governor, Eliot Spitzer. Last Wednesday, it was breakfast with powerful Congressman Charlie Rangel. And this week, she'll meet with New York's senior senator, Chuck Schumer.
I think she'd make a very good president, but let's wait and see. Everyone's sort of jumping the gun here.
Hillary Clinton is someone who will really take her time with this decision, really be very methodical along the way as she takes every step on that path. So I don't think it's a given yet, although all signs are pointing towards her running.
A senior Clinton advisor tells ABC News the nonstop meetings are all part of a thoughtful, deliberative process. He insists she hasn't made up her mind yet, but several New York Democrats who met with the senator told the New York Times anonymously she's strongly inclined to run. And political watchers say she better make up her mind soon.
I've already committed to the Food Network to announce.
Senator Barack Obama is getting a lot of attention on Jay Leno Friday night, speaking at a mega church earlier in the day. He's headed to New Hampshire next. On Sunday, Indiana Senator Evan Bayh told ABC's George Stephanopoulos he's setting up an exploratory committee, and Iowa Governor Tom Vilsack already has home court advantage in his early primary state. And by the way, Senator Clinton hasn't even been to Iowa or New Hampshire yet. The consensus among smart political thinkers is that she can take a little time now through the holidays. But, Robin, she better start getting organized soon. And just one other thing, she's being very methodical about this. I'm told that a very high-level Democrat was brought in to make the case against running to her. So that, you know, like devil's advocate, so that she could then make up her mind.
Systematic. Yes. All right. Thanks a lot, Kate.
I don't think I'd want to be that person who came in.
To make the negative case, right?
I wouldn't volunteer for that job. Okay, I have something so precious this morning. No, you can't have it. You can't have it.
Please.
Yes, right. Do you know, have you been following this? The average price of a gallon of OJ is rising like a balloon out there. In the past year, it's jumped from $4.49 to $5.09. And Mother Nature is to blame. ABC's Jeffrey Kaufman is live in Titusville, Florida, and he's telling us what happens out there.
That's right, Diane. This is like a jewelry shop here. You know, bad news in the orange grove does translate into bad news at America's breakfast tables. Take a look here. This is a healthy orange tree, but over here you'll see something that's quite typical in groves across Florida, a tree with almost no oranges on it. The reason? Hurricanes. And of course, we didn't have any this year, but you'll remember we had a lot last year and the year before. And now consumers are going to be paying.
80% of the orange juice America drinks comes from Florida. So when the Florida crop suffers, the pain makes it all the way to America's breakfast tables. And right now, the price for a gallon of OJ is up 14% from last year. Jack Wilson and Jim Reeves have almost 60 years of combined experience growing oranges. They have seen tough times, but these last years have been really tough.
They're not producing fruit the way they should, and it's going to take a while for them to come back.
It started souring in 2004 when Hurricanes Charlie, Francis, and Jean made direct hits on Florida's Orange Belt, destroying acres of groves and blowing ripened oranges off the trees. And then last year there was Hurricane Wilma, delivering a late-season wallop.
The trees that went under shock, not only did it tear some of the limbs off, but it also upset the roots.
And so the 2006 crop is expected to be the smallest in 17 years, compounded by problems with crop disease. Back in the 1980s, the industry was crippled by a series of frosts, but an even bigger threat looms now. Not the weather, development, as weary growers sell to home builders.
The large numbers of people moving to Florida have increased the competition
for land between development for housing and land for citrus.
It is something Jim Reeves knows all too well.
The farmers have kind of given up. They can get more for the land in 10 years than they could produce fruit in 10 years.
Now, for farmers with oranges, it is good news because prices are higher, but, you know, the long-term threat is that they're going to have to import more juice from Brazil, and that could mean higher prices and fewer jobs here. Diane,
Wow.
Robin?
All right, Jeffrey, thank you. You better keep an eye on that orange juice over there. It's very precious that you have. Coming up, a young family mysteriously vanishes during a post-Thanksgiving road trip. We're going to piece together this really mysterious case.
And also, do you ever call in sick when you're not? Come on, do you? Well, can you be fired for it? We'll tell you more.
For generations, one magical story.
You know what happens to pigs around here.
Has captivated families everywhere.
My name is Charlotte. I am going to save you.
On December 15th, experience the gifts of love, loyalty, laughter, and hope.
Wow!
As one of the classic tales of all time becomes the motion picture event of our time.
Well done!
Charlotte's Web, rated G.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Starts December 15th.
Hey, honey. Are you making a toy angel?
Yeah.
Bratz, Hot Wheels, and Legos. Buy one, get the second half off. Kmart, where Christmas comes together.
Heartburn? Painful. Zantac.
Okay.
Zantac quickly relieves heartburn.
Better?
Completely. Zantac's fast. Heartburn?
Yeah.
Prescription.
Slow.
The leading prescription can take a day or more to fully work.
Zantac.
Better. Zantac's fast. For heartburn, Zantac's fast.
I just don't find you attractive anymore.
Not in front of the neighbors.
You really let yourself go.
Fall back in love with your house. Get a home equity loan now at LendingTree.com.
If you could make a wish, what would it be?
I wish there was a way to prevent cancer.
Alzheimer's.
Obesity.
At Merck, our goal is a future free from sickness. We've already discovered vaccines as well as medicines to help fight diseases like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and tuberculosis. Now we're working to treat or prevent cancer, Alzheimer's, and obesity. So maybe one day,
I wish there was a cure for diabetes.
we won't have to wish. Merck, where patients come first.
Come in from the cold. It's time to savor Coffee Mate Creamer holiday flavors. Peppermint mocha and gingerbread, too. Rich pumpkin spice or eggnog to warm you. Hurry and get them before it's too late, so you can enjoy them with your perfect mate.
Good morning. This is K2 News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Good morning. It's 7:22. I'm Colleen Nelson. Here's what's making news this morning. The search is intensifying in southern Oregon for a missing family last seen in Portland. Investigators have learned the Kim family's credit card was used 9 days ago at a Roseburg Denny's. Investigators will verify the signature this week. The family was heading back home to San Francisco after a vacation in Seattle. They plan to spend the night in Gold Beach before continuing south. Investigators believe the family could have gotten lost on a mountain road in the area. So that is where they're concentrating their search.
And so it's everyone's belief that they utilized one of the secondary routes to try to get to Gold Beach. They were running late to get to the lodge. They've made arrangements to have a key left out for them. But some of these areas that someone may have recommended that they use during the winter months are not good routes. They might be good routes during the summer months and very scenic, but during the winter months they present some real driving challenges.
The Kim family rented several helicopters this past weekend to help search. A middle-aged man was hit by a van and killed last night in Vancouver. Deputies say the man was crossing in an area with no crosswalks and was wearing dark clothing. The van's driver tried to stop. Authorities say she will not be charged. The victim was not carrying any ID, but deputies think they may know who he is. Now let's check on the commute. Here's Travis Demers with Beat the Traffic.
To Delta Park. As we see outside there, we can see heavy traffic on your way I-5 southbound. Elsewhere, looking pretty routine throughout your morning commute. Colleen, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Travis. And that is our news for now. Rhonda will be back in just a moment with a look at your weather.
wishes came true, they still can. Introducing the BMW Holiday Wish Event. The best time of year to buy the new 328i sedan. Lease a BMW 328i for $365 a month and we'll make a contribution to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
This is K2, the spirit of the Northwest. If you're in one of these locations, you may be able to receive a clearer signal by tuning to one of these UHF channels.
This is more than a perfect smile. This is the first thing people see. This breaks the ice. This says it all without saying a word. This lights up a room. This shows confidence. This is a work of art. This is the work of an orthodontist. Orthodontists receive an additional 2 to 3 years of specialized education beyond dental school to learn the proper way to align and straighten teeth. To receive more information, visit braces.org or call 1-800-STRAIGHT. See more than a smile. See an orthodontist.
Well, a weak storm system over the Pacific Northwest produces showers to our north. Nothing for us so far here in our viewing area. Let's take a look at what's happening right now at the Inn at Spanish Head Resort Hotel. Camera looking off to the north. You can see cloudy skies and no rain in the bucket for Portland or for the coast at this hour. Here's a look at the satellite radar. This very weak storm system has produced some showers north of Kelso Longview, but you can see now there's a dry slot that'll be moving over the coast later this morning. Some sun breaks are possible, and we may see a couple of showers behind the front, so I am still calling for that around noon. 40 degrees. Look for temperatures right around 42, 43 degrees for highs today by 5 p.m., and a few more showers could be left over in the forecast, but generally a pretty dry day for us. Here's a look at the 5-day forecast, 10-day trend. We head back to dry weather again for Tuesday and into Wednesday. The east winds blowing near the gorge right now die down later today, but then they redevelop for Tuesday into Wednesday, and the wind chills once again will be down in the teens and 20s for you folks living on the east side. And then we also have some rain in the forecast for Thursday and Friday. We'll be back in about 25 minutes with another weather, traffic, and news update. Have a great morning.
This sunset is brought to you by Windermere, Cronin, and Kaplan Realty Group, with professional agents to serve you in Greater Portland and at the Oregon coast in Gearhart and Cannon Beach. To find out more, go to the yellow box at KATU.com and type in New Home Portland.
It looks like you guys are really bundling up this year.
Yeah, we like to bundle.
So what do you think about the Comcast bundle?
Oh, it's great. We get our cable, internet, and phone for one great price.
I have one company and one bill.
Great local customer service.
They answer the phone whenever I call.
They really follow through.
We only pay $99 a month for the whole year.
Sounds like a pretty tight bundle.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't worry about the holidays, because my Jenny Craig consultant is like a guardian angel.
Yeah, I'm an angel.
Giving me confidence.
Because you look awesome.
Thank you. Helping me make good choices.
Oh.
Thank you.
2 is good.
Yeah. No wonder I've lost 75 pounds. He watches every move I make.
P.S. That guy's really into you.
Well, not every move.
Join for only $6 per week plus the cost of food. Call 1-800-JENNY20 now.
Have you called Jenny yet?
Are you having any fun? What you getting out of living? What good is what you've got if you're not having any fun? Are you having any laughs? Are you getting any loving? If other people do, so can you. Have a little fun.
Serve up sweet memories. Ingredients for life. Safeway.
KATU.com, now with new features and new options, more video and more content, from traffic conditions
to video forecasts, top stories to breaking news. KATU.com has it all and in real time. Get personalized storm alert forecasts for your neighborhood. Watch K2 Newscast live with streaming video. Sign up for K2 News Alerts and get the news you want to see. And if you missed the big story, see it on KATU.com whenever you want it. Click on KATU.com.
Get your news a half hour earlier today on K2 News at 4:30.
Is this exercise or something to laugh about? There's a new exercise twin that's sweeping the ranks of the physically fit. And say all you need is a well-oiled funny bone. That's pretty much all you need.
It can actually be life-saving. They claim if you just do it with your exercise.
I like that. That works. I'm going to get a little of that into the newscast, a little shoulder roll.
We think it's pretty funny when we just show up and look at each other in the morning. Good morning, America.
That's true.
So what's your favorite exercise?
I lift some weights. Panic is a good form of exercise.
Very good. If you do it while laughing, you?
Yeah, I'll spend my time in the gym when I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pilates.
Yeah,
we
Pilates.
know.
Well,
We
what
know
about
Pilates. Thinking about your Pilates and laughing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, here's another question we're going to be addressing in this half hour. Should we cut each other a break on calling in sick? Does everybody fake at least one sick day?
Absolutely.
They say 1 in 3 of us.
1 in 3, they say, do. And here's a question. Should it be a firing offense? Is it okay for your boss to fire you if they catch you? And how do they catch you? Well, stay with us for that.
But first in this half hour, to the young family that vanished on their Thanksgiving vacation. The Kim family disappeared more than a week ago while on a road trip in the Pacific Northwest. And this morning, the police they're trying to put together new clues, trying to crack this case. And ABC's Neil Karlinski is live in Seattle with the latest details. Good morning, Neil.
Good morning, Robin. The drive from San Francisco to here in Seattle was uneventful, and the Kim family spent a happy Thanksgiving here. But on the drive back home, something went wrong. Somewhere in Oregon, a family of 4 is now missing with very few clues.
Hi, this is James Kim.
James Kim lives and breathes the latest portable gadgets, and as a result is always in touch. But somehow, a week ago, the 35-year-old technology writer, his wife, and their 4-year-old and 7-month-old daughters dropped out of sight while driving through a remote part of southwestern Oregon.
We're trying to find a missing family.
In the last 24 hours, friends of the Kims have flown in from across the country to conduct their own search.
We're going around hanging up flyers, talking to local businesses, talking to people along the route.
James Kim is a familiar name in the tech world. As a senior editor at CNET.com, he makes a living reviewing the latest in high tech, including the iPod.
It's 60% brighter.
The family of 4 was returning from a Thanksgiving road trip from San Francisco to Seattle and was driving through Oregon. Their last known phone call was to this oceanfront lodge a week ago during terrible weather. Kim's wife, Katie, was on the phone to say they would be late.
Katie called and said that James said they were going to press on and that, yes, they would be here.
They never arrived. Police say witnesses and a credit card receipt put the family's last known location at this Denny's in the small town of Roseburg, Oregon. Friends have concentrated their efforts in this area, even renting their own helicopter to search the vast forest land, filled with windy roads, rugged terrain, and often spotty cell service. And they've gone online, posting their own stories and videos on YouTube in the hopes that someone will help find the lost family of 4.
And we're worried about my brother and his wife, but it seems really unfair that the girls are there and just maybe suffering.
Search efforts are now concentrated on several roads the family may have used to head out to the coast. Some of those areas go through an elevation of 4,000 feet and are still covered in snow and ice from a week ago. It's a huge area, and so far, nothing. Robin?
Baffling. All right, Neil, thank you. Time now for the weather and Sam Champion.
Morning, Robin. Let's take a look. I'm just kind of pulling that all together, chatting with the audience. Let's show you what's going on in the nation today. We are going to deal with this. It's a Santa Ana wind, no doubt about it, but it has been a fierce one, a strong one, as this big area of high pressure forced a lot of strong winds through the mountains, down the mountains, dried everything up and out, and the winds have been more or greater than hurricane strength. Now they'll slow down a bit during the day today, but they're still pretty strong. You're looking at red flag warnings, which means high fire danger and still about a 30 to 50 mile per hour wind possibility. Let's show you some other locations that we've got around the nation and things that other people are dealing with. The deep south getting some cooler temperatures. That starts tonight, really, with low temperatures like this. Check out Little Rock at 25 degrees, and this cold blast pushes all the way toward Orlando at about 50. South Florida is one of the places that holds on to the warmer air, but Raleigh's at about 25 degrees. New Orleans at a 33-degree low temperature. Montgomery at 26 as well. These are some of the coldest temperatures of the season, and you wake up with them tomorrow morning, and they start with your tonight low temperatures. Here's a look at temperatures, high temperatures. Look how cold it is in northern areas. And again, Atlanta coming in with 44 degrees. So we'll just begin to drop some of these cooler temperatures in during the day today and overnight. Dallas at about 50, New Orleans at about 50 degrees as well. No big patterns across the nation today except for one in toward the northwest. This one's not a big one. It's 2 inches of snow at higher elevations and some gusty wind and rain right along the coastline. Everywhere else is dry. Big areas of high pressure parked all over the nation. One storm system toward the northeast. That's the weather around the nation. Here's what you can expect this morning.
Rhonda Shelby in the K2 Storm Alert Weather Center. Expect scattered showers from a weak disturbance over the Pacific Northwest today. West of the Cascades, temperatures will be in the 40s. Some scattered snow showers are possible in the mountains of eastern Oregon. Highs in the 30s east of the Cascades.
And this weather report has been brought to you by Zales. Robin?
All right, Sam, thank you. All right, so it's Monday morning. Maybe you're nice and warm in your bed. You've had a great weekend, and you're like, I don't want to go to work. You're thinking about calling in sick today. You know who you are thinking about that. We're going to show you how to be 6-day savvy ahead. More and more folks are doing it.
Got the perfect gift. You know it. Find it among Zales' incredible solitaire earring collection. Save $400 on these diamond earrings, now just $3.99 each. Find the perfect gift at Zales, the diamond store.
Due to near blizzard conditions, all flights have been canceled.
Oh no, the kids!
This Christmas,
make sure they don't get out of this room.
5 strangers will discover
This is so not the Christmas I had in mind.
what being a family is all about.
I got unaccompanied minors!
Let's say we expand our family a little bit.
What? My children are trapped in an airport on Christmas Eve. Do you have any idea how miserable they must be?
Unaccompanied minors.
Happy holidays, everyone!
Rated PG. Break out December 8th.
If you have a certain type of chronic dry eye, you should know that only Restasis with continued use helps increase your natural ability to produce tears, which may be reduced by inflammation caused by chronic dry eye. Ordinary drops just treat symptoms. Restasis should not be used by patients with active eye infections and has not been studied in patients with a history of herpes viral infections of the eye. The most common side effect is a temporary burning sensation. Ask your eye doctor about Restasis. Make an appointment today.
And here's a new one from country artist George Strait.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
When the right music really moves you,
Hey. Nice dress.
you're in a good place. Get George Strait's Fresh Cut Christmas CD for just $7.95 when you buy 3 cards, only at today's Hallmark Gold Crown store.
Ring. $9,000. Flight from Tokyo, $6,800. Flight from Chicago, $1,400. Dad, Mr. Suki, Dad, Mr. Carson, Akiko, Brian, Mrs. Suki, Mrs. Carson, Dad, Brian. Priceless. World MasterCard, the card that won't hold you back.
I decided to go to Positive Changes because I noticed how well the program was working for a couple of people that I work with, and I needed to lose weight. I feel so positive and so good about the experience I've had at Positive Changes. I recommend it to everyone that I see. Make the investment. Call Positive Changes today.
Yes, it works!
Okay, so it's one of those times of year when you're thinking about
maybe I'll just call in sick today. I mean, after all, we're talking about the holidays. You got a lot to do. It turns out sick calls are on the rise, especially at this time of year, and people give some pretty, well, creative excuses. Let's turn to ABC's John Berman.
Sometimes you call in sick with a bad cough. Sometimes it's a bad sniffle. And sometimes it's a bad case of, I can't possibly deal with work today. It's a common ailment. According to the Career Builder survey, 32% of us faked a sick day at least once last year. There are websites with good excuses. I have an abscessed tooth, food poisoning, I'm having an asthma attack. Bosses tell us they've heard it all.
What are some of the most outrageous reasons people have given you when they've called in sick?
I lost my iPod late last night, and I didn't sleep looking for it, and I can't come to work.
I get BlackBerries fairly regularly. My BlackBerry's broken, I need to go fix it. It's a disaster.
I was up until 4. I'm completely hungover. There's no way I can come in.
How can you tell when someone's making it up?
One time, somebody called in sick, and I heard in the background the flight attendant announcing boarding.
How can you avoid such a faking it flop? Ellie Bishop wrote the Sick Day Handbook. Her first rule?
Remember your lie, and to always be able to back it up.
There are also ways to sound sick.
About 5 minutes before phoning in, you should clear your throat and cough. You can go outside and scream if you want to, something to make your voice sound hoarse.
Then Ellie advises, pick an ailment people don't want to talk about. For instance,
when you say your irritable bowel syndrome is acting up, nobody wants the details on that.
a sick way to get a sick day, but liars can't be choosers. For Good Morning America, John Berman, ABC News, New York.
Okay, what are the do's and don'ts of calling in sick? Well, here to make us savvy is Jody Smith, president of the etiquette consulting firm Manners Smith. Welcome, Jody. Good to have you with us. Okay, let's talk about this. Is it okay? Should we all just acknowledge that a white lie about being sick is okay?
I actually am not a big fan of lying. I think that if you need to take a mental health day, go ahead and call in sick. It's the mental health sick as opposed to the physical sick, but don't lie. People get caught up in the lying and then they forget what they've said.
Are you saying it's really okay to call in to your coworkers and your boss and say, I just need to stay in bed today, or I need to reorganize my underwear drawer today. I've been putting it off. Is it okay to do that?
It's okay to call in sick, but don't explain. You really don't need to tell people either why you're sick. We really don't want to hear if it's physical symptoms. Or number two, if it's a mental health day, if you've been working hard, if you've had a 2-week stressful period of time, take the time to have a reprieve and get refreshed.
Because I think a lot of people think that the company budgets for six days anyway, and if you don't take them, you're kind of a fool.
Well, it is a use or lose in most situations, but a number of forward-thinking companies, what they do is they actually have a leave bank. So instead of giving vacation days and sick days where people feel they have to lie in order to use the time off, they're able to use from the bank, and that way there's no explaining, and they can actually schedule it, which makes it easier for the coworkers.
Okay, a couple of questions about the boss now.
Yes.
First of all, can a boss, by law, fire you for lying because you said you were sick and you weren't?
Well, this is one of the things. I'm not a corporate attorney, so you have to understand that no legal background, but in human resources, a number of states are employees at will states. So unless you have a signed contract or unless you're part of a union, employers can fire you because you came in late, because they didn't like your earrings that day. If you're an employee at will, they don't need to have a reason to fire you.
But do they tend to fire? Because we read that 27% of bosses say they have fired because people called in sick when they weren't.
Well, they may have fired. That might have been the straw that broke the camel's back, but calling in sick once is not going to be a cause for firing. What happens is usually that employee, their work is a little bit sketchy, they're not getting along with coworkers, they're disruptive in staff meetings, and then they call in sick and they use that as the catalyst.
Do they
not really
check
the
a
reason.
lot? Do they tend to check up on you?
Most bosses, you would hope that you'd have a trustworthy relationship and don't necessarily call or send somebody by with chicken soup to make sure you're really sick.
All right. Let me talk about the hierarchy of sins you commit in the workplace then.
Yes.
Is it worse to call in sick when you're not, or to come in when you are sick and give it to everybody else?
This is one of my pet peeves, is people who are sick and contagious coming in. I'd much rather you call in sick for a mental health day than to come in and infect everyone.
And among these three things, which is the worst sin? Stealing time on your computer, doing your own thing, stealing supplies from the office supply closet, or gossiping.
The office gossip, I think, is really the number one faux pas in the workplace because it's just so negative And you never want to be the person that's starring in the office soap opera. If you hear rumors, let them stop with you, and certainly don't be the one to start rumors in the office.
Okay, we've kind of freed us from guilt.
I'm glad to hear that.
I think I'm feeling a little something coming on, maybe tomorrow morning. Anyway, thanks a lot, Jody. And if you think it's wrong to call